Hey everybody, it's Christmas Family Devotion number 18 today. And sorry, this is a little bit later than normal. We've been spending the whole day getting our house ready for our guests that are coming from the Basque Country in Spain. We've had an exchange student whose name is Anne for the last 3 summers, and this year she's bringing her mom and dad and 2 brothers here for Christmas. And so we've been making room in our house for people that we care about, which is kind of fitting considering the passage we're looking at today. In Luke chapter 2, verses 1 through 7, we see those who could not make room for Christ in their lives, yet God the Father had a plan, and that was that his Son would be born humbly on this earth. As you look in the passage, you'll see that it begins by talking about a census that is taken throughout the whole Roman Empire. When it comes to government, it's always about money, it seems. And so here, it's no different. In the Roman Empire, Caesar wanted to know how much taxes he was going to be receiving from the people, so he took a census to count them and determine how much money they make so that he could plan for a certain amount of taxes from the people. And so that's what we see in the first part of the passage. So Joseph and Mary had to travel 70 miles from Nazareth down to Bethlehem, Joseph's ancestral town, in order to be counted among those of the tribe of Judah, of the family of David, in the city of Bethlehem. And so you can imagine after 70 miles of traveling by foot or on a donkey that Mary, being pregnant, was probably going to be ready to have this baby as soon as she arrived. And so when they got there, they looked for a space in the inn. Now, an inn took in all sorts of people, and so it was full of common people as well as well-off people. It was full of riffraff. And so it's kind of interesting that when God's Son is to be born on this earth, he's not even accepted among those that would be considered common folk or riffraff of society. Instead, he's born and placed in a manger. So he's born among the animals. Some years ago, when we were having a family devotion on this passage around Christmas time, I asked the kids, how would you guys like to spend the night in the chicken coop? And as soon as I said it, there was this immediate reaction of disgust. And the one word that they said was poop. There's poop there. They know they had to clean this chicken coop once in a while, and the thought of spending the night there was not even an option for them. But God chose for his Son to be born in humble circumstances, even rejected by the common folk, instead of being born in a hospital with doctors or in a palace with attendants taking care of him. He was born with just Joseph and Mary alone in a place of rejection. And so God can relate with us on the most basic level of our lives. As you look at your family devotional pack for today, after having your Advent calendar and some candy, the first question is, how do you know the mailman or the UPS man has visited your house? Which is actually a really exciting time this time of year if you do a lot of your shopping on Amazon. Also, how do you respond when they come and deliver an important package? So perhaps your family gets really excited at this time, or maybe you're stealthy about it. I don't know. Just a good thing to discuss with the family, have a little fun with that. And then discussion questions regarding the passage. Number 1 is to retell the story in your own words. So tell it as if your Bible's closed and you're explaining it to somebody who's never heard it before. Secondly, how was the birth of the King of Kings different from most kings on earth? And so just brainstorm all the different ways. Maybe if a king was born on earth, what would that be like as opposed to what Jesus went through? And then thirdly, what can you do to make room for Jesus in your life? Oftentimes when the story's told, we imagine that there was an innkeeper. Now, somebody had to say no to Joseph and Mary, and so we imagine what would have to be true in their lives to say there's no room for Christ here. But also, if you think about it in terms of your personal heart, what can you do to make room for him? So any distractions or things that you consider more important than him, that you would send those things outside of your life and receive Christ into yours. And as you pray and thank God for how he relates with the poor and the humble. Secondly, pray for specific people to make room for Jesus in their hearts. If you know that there are some that really don't have time for him or struggle with the idea of letting him in, that God might do a work in their hearts this Christmas. So I hope you guys have a great evening. We'll talk to you tomorrow.